Hey everybody, and welcome to Talk Daily. My name is Eddie, and today we're going to be talking about Ford releasing officially the video of the Ford Bronco and announcing it's going to be for sale somewhere around the summer of this year. And Ford released an official video. We'll have the link to the video in the description below, but it shows basically the Ford Bronco driving around and catching air and doing what it's supposed to do, rock climbing, and it looks like a very capable video. Very capable vehicle. It's a very beautiful video. It shows like the donuts on the road, obviously Johnson Valley, in California. And I'm talking about professional driver, off road, know your terrain before you do da 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 da. All the safety. Of course. But anyways, there it is, and it's just a beautiful machine. I love the fact you can take off the door, you can take off the roof. It's just a fascinating machine. It's purpose built, it's capable, and it has all the suspension component, all the suspension geometry to tolerate the abuse and the I'm pretty sure the the vigorous driving that the individual who purchases might go through with this car. Again, the clearance is very good, and I love the technology in this car. It looks like it's very easy to drive. Again, that's a professional driver driving it. But again, professionals make it look easy. But I'm very sure the car comes with a lot of technology that will assist you in your adventures out there. And the suspension, again, I'm not gonna play the whole thing. You guys, I'll leave description below. Please go check it out. Again, the sound of the engine is amazing. And speaking of the engine, the car comes with a V6 twin turbo, and some people did not like it. I'm not sure why. V6 twin turbo gives the same output as a V8, if not even more tuned, and it's 400 horsepower. It's a lot. It's a lot of power of this engine. Anyway, moving on. In this article written by Mr. Frank Marcus, he talks about the secret to the Ford Bronco Raptor suspension, unusual assembly, and beefier parts. And here's a picture from Ford. They show you their Fox suspension. They're showing off their technology, the articulated suspension. And he talks about the mission of the Raptor, basically the Ford Bronco Raptor. And he said it's the same as the Ford F-150 Raptor, drive at highway speed across the desert without basically being a very uncomfortable ride. And that requires a lot of suspension travel and careful distribution of the substantial energy generated when the suspension bottoms out on a big bump or when landing off a jump. And here's how Ford Performance Team modified the Ranger-based Bronco High Performance Off-Road Stability Suspension, HOSS 4.0, so it could perform like an F-150 Raptor. And they're talking about suspension travel, as you can see it right here, articulated. Well, this is the solid rear axle, but you can see the suspension, how it articulated and moving. And they're talking about different body lengths. And again, I love the shot from the top. I mean, this is the car that you have and you want to go out there on your day off or weekend or travel, whatever. And you just take off all these components and just be out there in the sun, bask in the sun, go out there in the desert and really enjoy it without really needing to do any modification, adjusting suspension or swapping tires. It just, as it comes, you can enjoy it. Not saying that's the only card you could do it with, but it's a new addition to the market. So anyway, the new links are talking about the suspension. You can see that's the different components, and that's the Fox suspension. That's a beautiful suspension. I mean, it has an external reservoir, and they're talking about how they modified the suspension control component so it accommodate the extra travel. As you're aware of, or if maybe you're not, if you see somebody lower their car or see a vehicle on the road, it's kind of lowered. Hopefully that individual did get the component. You see this control arms right here, upper and lower control arms, to accommodate that drop in suspension, because it does change its suspension geometry, and you can see that on the tire wear of the tire. A little side story, I'm really into cars and modifying cars, etc. And you'll be shocked that when I'm driving and you see other cars, when we go to the track and we're driving, and some people take their car and they just lower it and they go and they get really they have like a hoppy suspension, or they can't really grip the road really well, and that's due to incorrect suspension geometry or suspension bottoms out. That's a little caveat. And you can see the tire wear like very awfully, the tire wear prematurely because of that. Anyways, and not just the tire, suspension bushing, etc. It's really a domino effect. So you really need to get this thing spot on. This from the alignment, your suspension component, to your ride height, all this has to come in harmony. And that's why you go to professional alignment or like a race alignment or whatever might have you to get it spot on or keep it at factory condition, because they know overall what suits well. Anyways, Ford knows what they're doing, obviously, and here it is. That's the suspension, the articulated suspension, the Fox shock suspension, and it's designed to give you more travel. They're talking about the modification helped deliver 13.1 inch of minimum running ground clearance. That's a lot. Wow, to the front ball joint from 11.5 on the Sasquatch model and 8.3 inches on the base Bronco. So Bronco, I have three trims. That has the Bronco standard, the Sasquatch, and now we have the Raptor. And each one just basically raised higher and gives you more ground clearance so you can travel over rough terrain. Naturally, the approach breakover and departure angle also improve accordingly. They're talking about the approach, breakover, and departure angles, 47, 30, and 40 degrees up front. Anyway, I don't want to read the numbers. You got, again, the link to this article in the description below. If you guys want to know these details, please go ahead. It's a very well written article. And again, I want to just go back to the Fox shocks. Flying over the hoops in the desert, they're talking about the shocks, because, jumping over a lot, the shocks get heated, the gas in the shocks, etc., due to compression. It generates a lot of heat. But they're saying the Bronco Raptor gets a full set of 3.1 inch diameter Fox internal bypass external reservoir shocks. Very similar to those F-150 Raptor. As on the F-150 Raptor, the shocks feature live valve technology that senses suspension motion every millisecond and adapt the dampening rate accordingly. Wow. These designed to keep their cool and retain the dampening capability over a long period of sustained high-speed desert running. I'm pretty sure that there's always better things out there, but these suspension are solid. They're good. This is the top of the line technology. I'm pretty sure it has the suspension has probably had magnetic fluid in it that does that accommodate the changes of valving. Again, this is the whole new field of tuning. You could tune these shocks, and they're already tuned by Ford, and it's ready to go. This car is ready to go. They're talking about the brakes. The Bronco Raptor will weigh about 200 pounds less than F-150 Raptor, but is getting the exact same brake rotor and caliper. Beefy 13.8 inch by 1.3 inch vented steel rotor in the front, clamped by 2-piston sliding calipers with 13.2 times 0.8 inch vented steel rotors and single piston caliper in the rear, which would be very adequate. Very accurate for this application. Tire and wheels. Beefy tire, where the rubber meets the road. Ford is filling the exact same 37 times 12.5 R17 LTBF Goodrich all-terrain TAKO2 tires that comes with the top dog F-150 Raptor 37. They all come a choice of three 8.5 times 17 inch wheels. One is plain cast aluminum. The other the other two are bead lock capable design. Beautiful. One is which is forged. That's the one you want. The forged one is very soft. See, that's a bead lock. You could actually, if you don't know what that is, the rubber, when it comes to the rim, you could actually lock it with these literally like screws. So when you put very low air in the tire, in case you want to rock climb and go over like rough terrain, so the tire won't debeat from the rim. So basically the rubber won't just come off the rim, won't just pop. That's the purpose of having that. And I mean, that is a very, very off-road specific design feature. That's something that if you're just a dedicated off-road vehicle, you have that design. So it's amazing that Ford actually offers that and probably as an accessory or as an option. The forging is primarily to facilitate design rather than to save weight. Forge is basically, it's always very strong, and when I see forge, I think strong. And I talk about weight. Forging is because it's stronger, you tend to use less material, and that's why it's lighter. But in this case, they're talking about is facilitated the design. So just for the design, maybe because they have all these openings right here, so you can do the what do you call it? The bead lock. Maybe that's why it's Ford. Anyways, naturally there are matching spare wheel and the tire mount out back, the way to which requires an exoskeletal support structure bolted on the tailgate. The bolts for this piece can be used to attach accessory like a jack mount. So you know what? I can't fault this vehicle. I really cannot fault this vehicle. Here's a couple of pictures of it. That's the again, this is from Motor Trend, and they're talking about where is the V8. I I I would never ask that question when I look at that car. What V8? Who cares? I mean, it's yeah, if you like V8, you're probably sure gonna be asking where's the V8 because you like V8. But if you look at this V6 twin turbo, it's more than capable. It gives a lot of horsepower. 400 horsepower is not something to laugh at, and it's capable of propelling this vehicle to do its job quite efficiently. And I guarantee you, someone's gonna put a V8 in it just because it's a toy. This is a toy. This is basically what you buy. This is a toy, and why not? You wanna have fun with it. So I'm pretty sure at some point someone will put a V8 in it. So, and maybe Ford will sell you a crate V8, or I don't know, but I don't think this car comes. I don't think the V8 in this car is something negative or it's like missing. No, no whatsoever. This is look at this. Beautiful. So anyway, I don't want to waste time talking about the engine. I think this car is wonderful. I think it will fly off the dealership if people could afford it, for sure. And I'm pretty sure we'll get a markup on the dealership. It would be, hard to get, but it's a wonderful car. It's beautiful. Whether you're gonna take it rock climbing or not, I don't think that is the point. It's just such a nice car. If you just drive it in the streets, it's okay. Whatever you like, for sure. Whatever makes you happy. But it's good to know that it's form over function and it looks beautiful. It's like one of those like athletic shoes. It just looks pretty. Here's the interior. I don't think the interior looks anything amazing, but again, it looks fresh. It looks nice. Look, all the controls are handy. Huge screen. Look at all the light coming in. It's just a beautiful place to be. Seat look very comfortable. Look at the handle so you can hold on to it. So we call this the poop bar. It's the one you hold on to when things get rough. It's just pretty. I look at the material. Everything looks nice. I can't really fault it in any way or shape. The seatbelt in orange. It's just pretty. It's a pretty car. So, good job, Ford. Well done. If you're getting one or any friends are getting one, good for you guys. That's another article right here by Car and Driver talking about a 2022 Ford Bronco, and it's saying horsepower rock crawler that never skips a leg. The same here is starting price is going to be $69,995. I don't know why they do that. Just say 70,000. But anyway, this destination included and delivery begins this summer. So 69,995, and this will be yours. The 2022 Ford Bronco Raptor has arrived at 3.0 liter twin turbo V6, similar to the Ford F-150 Raptor pickup. 37-inch tires. We already talked about the suspension. So I just think it's such a nice car, and they keep mentioning it doesn't have a V8. I think that's the point. And they're saying this might be the only thing Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 392 owners have reign to brag about against the Bronco. And it's the Ford did not specify horsepower and torque, but it says the target is 400 horsepower, and the engine makes amount of power, 415 pound-feet of torque. So I guess if you have a Range Rubicon, you're making a little bit more power. But again, that is not really, I don't think it's the point. It comes with a 10-speed automatic transmission. Oh, before I keep going, I forgot to mention the gentleman wrote the article, Mr. Carlos Lago, and it's from Car and Driver. Again, the link to the article is in the description below. Anyways, again, it's awesome. It's nice. I think, here you go, for comparison, the F-150 Raptor is 78,470. The Bronco Raptor is 69,995. And the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon start at 76,000. So the Bronco is a little bit cheaper. It's about $6,000 cheaper and some change. So orders open in March and delivery begins this summer. So March is when you want to go to your dealership, send them that email and whatnot, and tell them you want one, and hopefully they could reserve one for you. If you're getting one, congratulations. If you know someone is getting one, tell them good job. It's a great choice of a car. Anyways, thanks everybody. This video has been running a little bit on the long side, but this is a very exciting car. and can't wait to see it on the road. Anyways, thanks everyone for watching. My name is Eddie. Take care. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you next time. Bye.